Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Midday with Trey, your weekly afternoon break. I'm your host, Trey. Let's get right into the show. On today's show, we have our very first student guest ever for the show's history. He is a music education major and also plays clarinet on the Chanticleer Regiment, which is Coastal's marching band. Let's give it up for Victor Sanchez. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you. So, Victor, can you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself?
I'm a junior music ed major here at Coastal Carolina. I've been in the marching band for now 3 years.
Nice.
And it's been great. It's been fun.
Nice. And where does your passion for music come from?
I'd probably say it started with my dad when I was a kid. He would always play like records, and we'd always just jam in the basement back when we lived in New York.
Nice.
And then it took off from there. I went to Conway High School, and then I started doing it, I would say, more serious. And then now I'm here.
Nice. So when you first came to college, what was your was there like a culture shock when you came from high school band to college marching band, or was it kind of like similar tactics?
I would say it was a shock at first because in high school you compete doing marching band.
Right.
And I was always in more of like a competitive mindset.
Yeah.
But when I got here, it was more relaxed. You're not competing anymore. So I was able to just sit back, relax now, and I would say I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I forgot in high school we do compete because I was in marching band. I played the mellophone actually, and I remember every 2-3 months we'd have a competition, either the lower state or 3A lower state or 4A lower state, whatever we were in. I remember just like having this like adrenaline rush. Do you ever feel that like when you're performing, especially in front of like a college audience, like especially the game last what was it, Thursday that we had against Appalachian State? Do you feel like an adrenaline rush when you perform? Or you've done it so many times, it just
Every time. It doesn't get old.
Gotcha.
And especially this past game, I'm already a pretty superstitious person, so I already have like certain things I have to do, and it was like times 10 because I'm like, oh, it's a big rivalry game, and it was there. I'll tell you that much.
We ended up winning. I heard a lot of good things about you guys from like different people around school. I heard talk about like, oh, the band sounded so good from live TV because televised games. So people are definitely talking about the Chanticleer Regiment. So that's definitely got to be a cool feeling, especially to go on the teal turf and perform. Your sets and whatnot. So I do applaud y'all. What's the camaraderie like in the band? Do you usually stay to your sections? Do you like mingle in between sections like one big family?
I would say it's like a family.
Okay.
And I'll say just in the woodwind section that before most games we'll have a talk, and the big talk is that there's no individuals, we're all together.
Definitely.
And it's a big thing that's not even just in that section, it's just spread out across the band. We're all together, we're all in this together. We need each other, and we're all just a family having fun, doing what we love.
Right. One of the cool things I think, because I was in Chanticleer Regiment for 1 week, I did marching band camp my freshman year, and then I did go off and do other paths. But one thing I thought was very cool was how incorporated the actual football team is with the Chanticleer Regiment. Because I remember high school, it was like the band's there just to support the football team, but the football team, even in this upcoming London drive that we're going to talk about in a second, they seem to like support. Like, do you feel the support like from even the athletics? Because I remember high school, I didn't feel any support from athletics to band. Like there was no commingling between that. But I don't know. Have you felt that? I don't know. It's just me or
The head coach Jamie Chadwell came and like visited us, and that was surreal.
Yeah.
And there was a point over the summer I was working on campus and I got to meet him, and he said, "I love y'all," and he like shook my hand.
Yeah.
And I felt like I feel the support and the love from them, and I appreciate them, and I know they appreciate us.
Yeah, that always is a great feeling. So let's talk about this London trip. Could you tell the audience just a little bit about the selection that the Chanticleer Regiment got in this opportunity? I know you probably talked about it a million times, but one more time, and then I'll never ask about it again. But it is a great opportunity, and that we feel like should be shared.
Yeah, it was something I didn't expect to happen coming from Conway.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me there's a London trip when you get to college, then I'm like,
nah.
But that year it happened last year, and I me along with everybody's just jumping everywhere because it wasn't expected.
Right.
You know, we're just looking at each other, and for it to happen that way was
Yeah.
probably beautiful to have it happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some days it doesn't feel real.
Right.
I'll think to myself, "Dang,
There you go.
we're really going
Yeah.
across, and we're performing, and it's very exciting." And I just hope it inspires a lot of people to just keep on the track of, even if it's music or
Right.
something that they're just passionate about, that something can happen.
Definitely.
So I hope that's what's happening with a lot of students everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a huge shock to me because when it was announced, it was my first like week or so here, and I was like, "What? The band's going to London?" And I can only imagine like it's your senior year, right, or junior year,
Yeah.
but going to senior, like you're upperclassman, and you
Yeah.
know, finishing out your college experience in the next couple of years, and it's like, dang, you know, you started in probably middle school, high school.
Yeah, we did a band camp my 8th grade year. I was at Whittemore Park.
Yeah.
And then, I want to be honest, I didn't really know much about
Yeah.
marching. I just knew about playing
Right.
and being more like a concert setting, but I don't know. It was nothing like it. And in high school, it just kept growing. And to now be able to represent my hometown,
Yes, definitely.
because I've lived in Conway all my life.
Yeah.
And to just be at the college that's in Conway and get to go across and to just come back and just say, hey, you know, like we can do it.
We did it. Yeah.
So.
And I also like speaking about inspiration, you know, you guys have that upcoming event where like you bring in high schoolers, and I heard like over 100 high schoolers are coming in to play with you guys in the next game. Like, are you looking forward to just like inspiring the youth almost? Like, you may not look at yourself as an inspiration, but you're gonna be like a huge inspiration. Like, these kids are gonna come, they're gonna look at you and be like, oh, I'm gonna be just like Victor. And then like I don't know, that's probably a weird thing to think about, but it is cool. Like, just I don't know, like what do you think about that? Just like all these high schoolers coming in and experiencing this, especially at a time like that we're in now.
Yeah, when I first heard that, hey, we're doing like this band day,
Yeah.
I was excited because I do want a lot of students to see like, hey, this is what a college marching band is. This is what it's like. You can have a lot of fun here. And especially a lot of the students that are coming from Conway, I've been trying to keep in touch with them.
Right.
And I'm saying, hey, come, you know,
Yeah.
I think it could be pretty fun for you all. And just, you know, having them say, hey, try to figure out information because they really want to come, and the excitement. And just for them to see the environment on a game day.
Right.
And just like, hey, we're going on this trip.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of excitement, and there might be another trip like this in the future, and that y'all could be a part of at this university. So that's
one of the cool things I found about Coastal. Like, you never know what you're gonna get into. Like, you know, you guys are going to London. CIE is going to Hawaii. You know, different programs are going different places, and it's, you know, a smaller school like Coastal. Like, people probably look over, but we have a lot going on here. A lot going on. Yeah. But I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but we did hear you may be able to perform a short piece for us on your clarinet.
Sure.
Okay.
Pull it out.
We'll get back to that in 1 second. If you guys want to donate to the marching band, they are going to London, like Victor and I talked about. The donation link is in the description below. It's also on the screen, so check it out. If you can, please make a donation, make a contribution. Really mean a lot to the band members and everybody, such as Victor. Victor is just one part of the marching band, and you know, there's so many more that could benefit from this trip. And so we really appreciate you guys donating and watching the show. Thank you again, Victor, and let's move on to the next section. All right, it's that time again. Time for this week's Hat of the Week. The hat for this week, going along with the theme of our good friend Victor, is a marching band hat. And it is called a Shenko and Plume. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the Shenko, and this is the Plume. So there it is. This is I think it's actually worn. I think this is an actual Chanticleer Regiment hat. Is that right, Victor? Yeah, Victor gave us the thumbs up. This is actual Chanticleer Regiment hat. You can't get it anywhere. Like I said, this is a lot of these hats are one of a kind. I usually don't own them, but they're usually one of a kind. But this one does belong to the marching band, and so yeah, this is pretty cool. And I'm gonna do my best to wear this for the entirety of the episode. All right, it is time for the weekly update. So first and last, Friday, November 18th, starting at 7:30 p.m., the Department of Music presents the CCU Jazz Big Band and Jazz Combo Concert. This concert features traditional instrumentation and vocalists. And that's it. The semester's wrapping up, so these events are wrapping up, so that's all we have this week. One of the events I'm looking forward to in the next week or so is, Thanksgiving. Well, the food and family part at least, and, eating with my family and, yeah, but anyway, a lot of good events are coming up, so make sure you guys follow all of our social medias down below so you can stay up to date with all things Edwards. All right, that wraps up this week's episode of Midday with Trey. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. Same time, same place. Bye.